Hi, I'm Andre with New Day Construction. This is Peter. And so, how did you start New Day Construction? What's your story?
All right, my story. It's an interesting one, but I'll share it. So I started actually not envisioning that I was going to go into construction. My vision was actually to I go to school and get an engineering degree, well, computer science actually degree. Uh, but after high school, I actually went and worked for my uncle doing finished carpentry.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. Started out the summer. It was just only supposed to be a summer gig. Then I really liked it, and then I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Uh, I'm just gonna skip a quarter. I'm gonna do college next year. So then I went and I worked. And then eventually, I worked with them until it was like the end of sometime on 2018. There was like an experience like where the construction there was like a slight construction demand slowdown, so we didn't have any work. So then I decided to go to college. I went to college, and in college, I realized that I actually didn't like computer science, and I really like working my hands. And my friends from church would hire me. They had a remodeling bit. They were contractors, and so I was a part timer for them. And I would do, I would be doing construction with them. And I realized that I had a talent for it. I realized I had a talent for construction is when we were working, and essentially what it was is that one or the other guy had to work. And so I was working, and I went to find my boss, and I found him watching a movie. And I'm like, hey, why are you watching a movie? We should be doing this together. And he's like, nope, Peter, what you're doing right now, there's only one or the other does it, and you're better than me, and I'm a boss. I'm going to keep watching my movies. So you keep working. And so I then started getting clues that, like, hey, I think I'm somewhat decent at this. Long story short, uh, I eventually I went to a different company during the summer and became team lead. And then I decided that I didn't want to go back to college. I then got my license and started being a subcontractor to a local GC here. And so I then started doing small projects, decks, and then slowly, like we moved, kind of slowly progress into the interior space. Um, Having the experience in finished carpentry for that like almost first year with my uncle really helped me excel and understand what quality was. It's because project managers they were pretty strict, had a very high standard since these were kind of like custom homes. I would say in like the Bellevue, Medina area, and so the builders, well, not the so the project managers that worked for these builder companies were very high in quality. They expected like the highest quality. I remember getting my work ripped out and restart. Uh, so it was a very good training experience. And so when I was working with customers and being a sub, I was able to then slowly get into the interior space. And so I was there for about 4 years, just as like almost about 4 years, just as a subcontractor. And then eventually in 2021, 2022. I would say more like 22 into the middle of 2022. I then decided to pivot and go fully on my own and work with customers. And so now, 4 years later, we are here in Bellevue with our own office. So awesome.
Wow. Yeah, so online there's been a lot of questions on remodeling. One is like permits. Are they painful? Are they scary? Because it seems like a lot of people who want to do a remodel there. That's like one fear they do have, especially in Seattle area.
Yeah.
So like, what's the process like? What's the pain points in that?
So I would say that when it comes to permitting, we typically take it care of it and handle it. Most of the times when it's a cosmetic remodel, if there's some electrical work or plumbing work, it's just an over the counter permit. And so
Mhm.
usually we're able to get those essentially like they're the same day. But as soon as you have a load bearing wall and you need a beam removed, that then extends the timeline drastically. at least out here. We need to get the architect involved
Mm,
and start drawing up, okay, where are the walls being removed, where are we adding the wall. Then we, after that is completed, we would have the engineer come in. Typically takes them a couple weeks to then engineer a beam, well, engineer a beam, run calculations, and then essentially put it all together. Then we submit it to the city, and that usually with interior model permits, I've seen them anywhere from like a month to 2 months turnaround time to get approved.
I see.
Uh, we've seen some take up to 3. Depends on the complexity of the job. Usually, home additions is a lot longer process.
Yeah,
But with remodeling, from the point of realizing that we need to get permits, it takes about a month from the architect to the engineer, maybe even up to 6 weeks to then be able to submit.
I see. Is like, do these permits, like, before you start the job, do you guys get the permits already? Or is it like, oh wow, in the middle of the job and then you're like, oh, we have to change this wall or something like that, then the process starts, or how does it start?
Typically, we try to avoid them in the middle of the job. We've had that experience where we thought a wall wasn't load bearing, and then when we finally exposed more of it, we ended up finding out that it was a load bearing. It's kind of tricky, but we were able to figure that out. So then that triggered a process for us to need to get permits, which was that seamless process. But in Renton, I guess when you get a permit, if you're on a septic, they make you then get some septic testing, which had nothing to do with the kitchen remodel. So it ended up turning into this like 3 to 4 month delay of getting the permit, which was a bit frustrating. But usually, how we do it is we come on site, we try to pre-inspect if it is structural, and then we'll start getting the permits.
Yeah,
Sometimes we'll have a structural engineer come out if we're not exactly sure. Actually, now that I'm recollecting about that Renton project, I think it was a change in work scope. So originally, wall stayed, then got removed.
oh, I see.
So that was a unique situation project. But when it comes to typically, we try to avoid that process, and so we have all the permits done, ready to start, and then we begin construction. And we try to make it as quickly as possible because living without a kitchen is very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
We've had
yeah.
customers say like, "Hey, I need my water back. I need my filtered water. Uh, you need to hurry up." It's like, "Hey, we said 6 to 8 weeks. We're only on week 5. We still got some time. We're gonna get done in the timeline that we said we will be, which we did."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, um, what's it called? People living. How do people, when you guys do a remodel for a customer, what is their life like without the kitchen? Where do they cook, eat? Um, and then, yeah, let's start off there, and then I think I have another question.
Yeah. So typically, that one's a fun one. If you could just imagine not living without a kitchen, sucks. So
Yeah.
that's exactly what it sounds like. Exactly what it is. Typically, when we come into a kitchen remodel, we seal off the area. We'll put up a zip wall system. We'll secure it, put a zipper, contain the space. So when we do a demolition, we have all the dust, all the work is contained. But when most of the time, customers tend to utilize either a utility room or they utilize a bathroom, and they do a lot of grilling. Or we have some
A lot of
customers, yeah, or some customers,
basically camping at home.
yep, camping at home. Or customers would just start eating out more during that season. And usually we try to do a blitz, so like we
Okay.
try to come in and be out by 6 weeks. If it's a custom kitchen, then we typically like to pre-order the custom kitchen, make sure that the fabricator has pretty much already completed the kitchen, and then we'll begin construction. Um, Usually we try to make it as painless as possible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have you had customers move out? Have you had customers move out while you guys do the kitchen remodel, or?
Not necessarily. We've had that experience. Like we've had experiences where people buy a house and then they wait. until we finish. We've had
Okay.
experiences where someone would move out. Majority of the time, the customer lives during the
The
duration of the
month.
project.
I see.
Um, Usually, once the room is contained and sealed off, and the homeowner gets in their own rhythm, it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Um, it's just
You
they
just
already know.
adapt. Yeah. People just they adapt and it's the new normal basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure when the kitchen's done, it feels so good.
yeah, they love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And then you were talking about the timeline. So what is a typical rundown on when to start the kitchen with permits and then you finish the kitchen and the customer, the person's back in the kitchen and cooking?
So yeah, typically that timeline, it's usually 6 to 8 weeks. If it's a more complex kitchen, we'll tell people like 8 to 12 weeks. Um, but we've done kitchens in 4 weeks, but usually they're on the smaller side. But the average is 6 to 8.
68. Okay. And then what is like a budget typically a customer would have from low, mid, and high-end kitchens?
Yeah. So when it comes to kitchens, there's a variance in price. Typically, it's your vision and what you want. Use case scenario. Sometimes we will do like a homeowner has a rental
Mm-hmm.
and you want to update the rental and they have a small kitchen and so they'll be between 30 to 50K and they're going plain finishes, uh, no extra. Then you get to the customer where it's like a mid-sized kitchen, they want mid-grade finishes. They'll spend anywhere between $60 to $90,000 for a kitchen
Mm.
remodel,
Oh, wow.
picking up the materials. And then when it comes to, uh, let's say you want a high-end kitchen, you want typically would have a designer involved. You'd go anywhere from I would say 100 to 250K plus on a kitchen remodel. Just depends what your vision is, uh, and also what you want to invest into your kitchen.
Yeah.
Some customers use the kitchen heavily. It's a main piece of their kitchen. Like I remember we did a kitchen remodel for a chef, very particular. Um,
Oh, wow. That must have been an interesting experience.
it was. They really cared how their cabinets were placed. They really cared about which drawers, how they went, where they went,
Wow.
for their utensils, for their cutting boards, pots and pans. It was a fun project.
Did he cook you dinner?
It was a she. It was a
I was
she.
saying, oh, did she cook you dinner?
No, we never, we never asked.
Never asked. Oh, that would
Yeah.
dude, if you got a 5-star Michelin star cooking you dinner, that would have been a highlight of life.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. Wow, that must have been interesting. Another question is, what is worth splurging on, and what's worth like saving in a kitchen? Versus, yeah.
What is worth splurging? What is worth saving on? Typically, I like to splurge on. That's a hard question. I would say.
Oh, yeah.
If it was with me, I always love nice things. So a
Yeah.
nice custom cabinets, white oak, some white quartz countertops, backsplash quartz. I guess like things to splurge on. I would say like LED lights, under the cabinet where the topic is, underneath the cabinet.
Yeah.
Those are always nice. A pop filler is nice to splurge on if you can have one of those. Um, I really like I typically like double ovens.
I see. Yeah.
And then usually adding additional lighting, adding more can lights in the room, brightening up the place, mm, things to save. You were saying to
Yeah.
save
Say
on.
like, well, what's not worth?
Uh, I guess it's your budget. What can your budget allow? I wouldn't say there's anything to save on, because I feel like the more you pay, the better the quality you get.
Mm.
And it's like when you're buying a car, you got the essential, and then you got the lux.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the essential, is you get what you need, and that's hey, let's refresh what we have, Let's do semi-custom cabinets. Let's do countertops. Let's keep it simple.
Mhm.
Backsplash tile. But if you can go, get the Lamborghini, then it's like uh, selecting cabinets, details, with a designer, what type of hardware to get, things like that to make the kitchen more user like more friendlier for you. Well, actually created to you, I would say, and you can get nicer stone. I mean, yeah, good kitchen is always nice.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, it's like there's things where you like there's things you could save, but it's very minuscule.
Yeah, it just depends on the budget you want to
Yeah,
do
but
for it.
you want. I see. Okay. Um, another question is like, what is the whole process of a kitchen, remodeling a kitchen, from start to dreaming of the kitchen to enjoying it?
Oh man. So to start, I would say is researching. Uh, talking to AI. Hey, what is the kitchen? Uh, Watching some videos, some feedback, knowing what actual costs are, going on Pinterest, looking up kitchen style, and understanding your style, understanding the taste uh, is very, very helpful. And understanding your budget is very helpful before when you're starting the process. Um, Here at New Day, we will have an interior designer that she would assist with your kitchen
Yeah.
and like help you with what you need. Um, but I would say the research stage, and then the next stage would be
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to us, and then talk to one of our team members, most likely Sam, and he'll just explore kind of what you're wanting, what you need,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there, typically it'd be turns to an on-site consultation. We would have Philip come out. He would, you know, advise what to do, what you guys want, go more in depth, and then he would be able to then assist with a proposal. And typically, we like to, depending on the budget, if it's a simple project, it's not necessarily needed. But if it's more of like a medium, higher end, we really like to have the interior designer involved, have a 3D renderings, help kind of go
Yeah.
over selection. They definitely help with making you feel more confident in what you're picking. After that stage is complete, we go into permitting. If there are permits needed, usually I handle that. I handle all the permits. After the permits are done, we would then assign a project manager to the job. The project manager would take over the job. He'll work on the project. Usually, the way we have our teams set is we have a project manager that has two specialists under him. Pretty much, they're more master carpenters, equipped with. I always rave about our van. I feel like they're mini Home Depots.
Mini Home Depot.
Yeah, they have everything you need essentially.
That's awesome.
Because when you do a demolition of a kitchen, sometimes people
So
have
yeah,
leaky
going
angle stops.
yeah. So going to now the guys are on site. What's the process from the demolition to the finish,
Yeah,
basically?
so yeah, the process. So typically we would start the project, and the guys would come in first, do all the prep work, remove, uh, help assist removing larger contents. Sometimes homeowners it's too difficult to move couch, so we'll help. We'll
Yeah.
seal it off, barrier it off, put flooring protection. Then we'll essentially demo the project. Usually, the way we have our in-house team, we typically the specialists they'll do about 50 to 60% of the job, and then 40 to 50% of the job will get subbed out to our vendors that we work with. Um, that's like electrical, plumbing, HVAC.
Oh, okay.
And so usually then the project manager will then just run the schedule. So they'll come in, demo everything. They'll open up the walls, what's needed, start relocating plumbing, electrical if that's necessary, adding can lights.
Hmm.
You then have your inspections. Then we'll close everything up. And then essentially we'll start doing essentially primer, bring in the flooring. We'll do the kitchen install, millwork, and then painting, and then finishes. Kind of high level overview. And then when the project's all done, project manager will do a walkthrough with the customer,
Oh, nice.
making sure that they're satisfied and that if there's anything that they feel like we missed or that needs to be touched up or added or replaced, essentially, we would make sure that that guarantee of them being happy, we make sure that at the end they're happy, and then we warranty our work. We want our 24 months, and so if you ever had any issues, feel free to call us back. I totally had it where a lady had her hardware fail like 3 years later. She called me and I went out there, changed it out for her because we have a ton of those hardware,
Yeah.
and so it's not a big deal. So if there was anything, feel free. If we can make it happen, we will.
Okay. Yeah, you answered one of the big questions too, where it's like after the remodel is done, if something issue happened in the kitchen, who do they call? Do they call like a different contractor or like some plumbing or anything? I guess the answer is call back New Day,
Yes.
and we take care of everything else. Yeah, I think there's a couple more questions, and then basically after that, it's a wrap up. Um, what's it called? Uh, I guess this is a big one. So there are horror stories about contractors, and people heard a lot. Uh, what are why are you not a horror story?
Why am I not a horror story?
Yeah.
I try definitely not to be one. um, so typically, horror stories. I mean, we've heard of people flaking on other customers.
I see.
Um, why am I not a horror story? I'm here for the long game.
There you go.
I definitely want to be a brand that is well known, that is local, that will be here for a while, around this, our area. Um, I would say that why we're not a horror story.
Yeah. Well, why should they go with you?
Why should I mean? We always do good quality work. I mean, but that's what everyone says, though.
Yeah, yeah.
The way I would look at it is like, okay, how long have they been in business? When they are proposals, are they upfront? Like with our proposals, we try to have everything upfront included. We pretty much have like a no hidden guarantee. So typically we try to price everything out on the job, um, unless what happens is if there was change orders because we open up the walls, there was rot or something we don't expect, or if a customer added additional work scope. But other than that, we don't play the game of like vague contracts.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh, that's good.
yeah, so like we try not to be vague. We try to be very upfront, very clear with our proposals, and so the customer knows what they're getting into, knows what it's going to cost them, and typically another thing is it's like just looking at our reviews. We have live references that people that we've actually done work for that can vouch for us. Uh, People that we done work for a few years ago, and we had a recall and we came out, we fixed it. And so like I would say we have a lot of good feedback. Um, Another reason, not afraid of permits.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, um, we try to go ahead, if we do have problems. We're insured, we're licensed, we have a bond.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
so
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. I think, yeah, basically you're licensed, like you said, insured, playing the long game. So you want a good brand. Don't want to uh, become the horse for other people by also not having vague quotes where other contractors
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Also, with our vendors, our sub vendors, we make sure that people who we work with, we like to work with, they're vetted. That are subs that we pretty much affiliate with. That
Mhm.
we like their work. They have good quality. They're on time. They work efficiently. That's super important for us. If you say you're going to be here, we expect you to be here, uh, because we're on site. We're there every day.
Yeah.
And that's another one that's like important. Is like our subs are vetted, and we're not sending a random guy out there to work on your house.
Yeah.
We know that they can work and we know they can do good work.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so trusted, vetted, and
Yeah,
secured.
yeah. But that one came from a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but
Yeah.
been burned many times.
Okay. Hey, at least you got the good ones now.
Yes.
And then our last five rapid questions. What is the number one mistake you see homeowners make before they call New Day?
Uh, a big mistake that homeowners call before they call New Day. I would say like they don't know what they want.
Uh,
Um, they're vague. They're already wanting to save money.
I see.
Um, trying to kind of cut work scope down. So like problem there is like you have a vision, you can't make it happen. So you start cutting away at that vision. And so that the worry there is that like, we'll cut work scope back, but is the product you want? So it's better to count your costs, know what you want, and then go into it.
I see. All right. Second question. If someone's budget is 100K, what's a realistic kitchen in Seattle today?
So if their budget is 100K,
Yeah, what is a realistic kitchen in Seattle?
I would say that is a realistic price budget
Okay.
for 100K when it comes to a kitchen remodel here in Seattle. Just depends on what you want to do. And so,
Like, what could you get with 100K?
with the 100K, you could definitely do like a semi-custom kitchen, of course, countertops, potentially a wall removal.
Okay.
Depends if it's non or structural. Lighting reconfiguration. Typically, that probably the flooring in the kitchen area replaced. Some painting.
I see.
Yeah.
What is what would be the max square feet for 100K you could do?
That's a tough one. Max square feet. I wouldn't say it's like
Like
a max square
200
feet.
or like
The way I look at it is more like small, medium, large kitchen.
small? Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're kind of in that range. You have a medium-sized kitchen, which is about 20, 24 cabinets,
Okay.
26 cabinets, and then yeah, it also just depends on the grade because we've totally seen custom kitchen packages for the cabinets alone cost $100,000. We know that not every customer spends that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people are land between when they do custom cabinets.
Free labor at that point.
Yeah, they typically land between anywhere from 40 to 70,000,
Okay.
and then semi-custom. Typically, people are landing between that 20 to 40K for their cabinets. That's just cabinet cost.
Yeah, cabinet cost. All right. Third question. What's one thing you wish every client knew before demo day?
Uh, Demo day. I wish they knew
Before demo day.
before demo day that they don't forget that our timeline is our timeline we promised.
Yeah.
Not the promise, but like what we set in the beginning. Like, hey, this job's gonna take 6 to 8 weeks. People at week 4 forget, and they're like, "Hey, why is this taking so long?" And you're like, "We just we're only halfway." Or and you're like, the cabinets are installed. Or another thing is that like if we don't show up, that doesn't mean that we forgot about your project. A lot of times we have a downtime, typically around this stage where we install the cabinets and we measure for fabrication. And so usually our fabricator takes 7 business days to fabricate countertops. And so usually you will have 2, 3 days where just no one's gonna be there because we're just waiting on the slabs. And usually that's like the finished product. So as soon as slabs come in, then it goes trim out, backsplash, trim out electrical, trim out plumbing for the sinks, installing appliances. And so usually you're within a week, well, 7 to 10 days after boards are installed to for being completed.
Yeah. So doing a kitchen remodel is less than a whole season football season.
Yes.
Or a TV show or 24 episodes.
Yeah.
So you could basically you'll enjoy your kitchen faster than you'll finish a TV show. And then How can listeners get a consultation with new construction kit?
How could you? I'll say consultation. Typically, we're never afraid. Feel free to call our office to, just explore your project and where you're at your project. And we'll just, talk about your project, where you are, what you realistically want to invest. And if you had any questions, and then we'd be happy to, answer all of them.
Okay.
We've totally spent 30 minutes before talking to people about their project, and then them realizing that it's not feasible, it's not realistic right now, and it's no hard feelings. It's just like, hey, it's better for us to have a 30-minute phone call with you
Yeah.
during an exploration call versus we come out there, we spend 1 to 2 hours talking to you, then I work on a proposal for another 2 hours, and then
Mhm.
getting on a call, took me 6 hours to put this all together, and then oh, we're not interested 'cause,
Yeah.
it's double what we expected. So usually it's really nice just to have an upfront conversation, and it saves everybody time and hassle, and that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Yeah, that answered a lot of questions. I think I think you answered a lot of your guys' questions, and thank you for the time to be here.
Yeah.
This is the showroom of Bellevue, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great time. Awesome.
We're still work in progress, so feel free to stop by. We'll show you what we have so far.
Yeah. All right, we're out. Adios.